What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Money Mondays. I'm going to be pretty quick today, but I had a conversation with a buddy of mine just a couple of days ago, and I thought it would be really impactful for you to be able to almost listen in on what we were discussing. And so the topic of conversation was, as speakers, as people who participate in as well as produce in-person live events as well as virtual events, where's the industry going, right? Because it seems to be becoming more and more prevalent. Everybody is a speaker, author, coach, influencer. Come to my event, sign up for my challenge. That's becoming so commonplace now, and everybody's entering the space. Everybody's a coach, everybody's an expert, everybody has something to teach, something to coach, something to sell. And so, what is the trajectory of the industry, the knowledge brokering industry, the information marketing industry as a whole? What direction is that going to go in? And that's a big question for us, right? Because as people who are trying to make a living in this industry, being able to anticipate where things are going and catch those trends before they manifest throughout the industry as a whole, that's really important, right? Because what tends to happen, especially in our industry, is the early mover advantage is big. And it's not the same in every industry. If you think of, I don't know, a big tech company, for example, the first mover advantage is actually smaller. I think second mover advantage is a lot better because you can learn from the mistakes of whoever came before you. For example, Facebook, they were sitting there taking notes when MySpace was going under, right? And same thing for Instagram and so on and so forth. And so in certain industries, it's actually a really big advantage to allow somebody else to be the pioneer and allow somebody else to really be on the forefront and the cutting edge. And then you come in and fix everything that they messed up, and then you capture a large share of the marketplace. I think that with coaching, consulting, info marketing, courses, speakers, that whole industry of influence, I think that it's completely reversed. I think that you can mess up so many things and still be wildly successful if you get there early. And we see this with the people who are first on every new social media platform that catches on, right? If you were early on Instagram, you were able to get not only followers easier and quicker because the algorithm was more forgiving, but also paid ads were dirt cheap. Same thing is happening on TikTok right now, and we've already seen over the last 6 to 12 months, as I'm producing this in January or February, time's flying, February of 2023, the last 6 to 12 months, even TikTok ads have become exponentially more expensive, and the algorithm has become exponentially less helpful to new creators. And so the early mover advantage is huge in our space. And I was thinking about that the other day, and I said, okay, well, let me take a step back and conceptualize the trends that I see happening right now. At the time of recording this, February 2023, virtual challenges are the way to go. Let me tell you why. Way back in the day, Tony Robbins had this model where he would do seminars. And what he would do is he would go do free seminars at corporate companies. And he would go do free trainings with them, right? Whether it be with their C-suite, their sales team, whatever. He would literally go door to door physically with these corporations and businesses. And he would do free trainings. And the goal of the free training was to offer them so much value that those people would end up signing up to go attend his seminar. Cool, right? In the modern age, what that's turned into was a webinar, and then you sell a course on the back end. That's what that really turned into, was drive traffic to a webinar, provide value, sell them the continuing education of the course. What Tony also used to do, and I'm using his as an example because he really, it was Jim Rohn first did it, Tony took it to another level, and then from there, everybody else kind of came after that. So I'm using him as an example because that really established this value ladder that's been really standardized in our industry. So from there, what Tony would do is he'd say, okay, great, now that I've got you at my event and I got you here for 4, 5, 6 days on end, and I'm speaking to you for a total of what, 40, 50, 60 hours over the course of the event, over the course of the week, now I'm giving you so much value that I'm going to use some almost mob psychology from stage to pitch you on a very high ticket offer from stage. And I'm going to close you on the $50,000 course or the $100,000 consulting program, what have you. What happened was almost everybody followed the same model. So people would do, in the 21st century, people would do the webinar to the course because they knew that that could work. We knew that we could push people to a free training and get them to upsell on a $2, $3, $4, $5,000 course. Sometimes with a sales call, sometimes not. We knew that that worked. We knew that the in-person events, i.e. 10X conference, like all these massive events, we knew that that would work if we get them in a room for 3, 4, 5 days straight. Then we can upsell them to a really high ticket program, 50, 60, 100,000. We knew that that worked. What taught us was that that thing that happened in the summer of 2020 that was overblown, overhyped, and nonsense. That thing that happened to all of us. What that taught us was we can get away with a lot more virtually than we thought we could. And so we started to see the proliferation of these 5-day challenges, and everybody's doing it now. Myron Golden was one of the big starters of that. Now we see Grant Cardone doing it. We see Tony Robbins doing it. We see E.T. doing it. We see a lot of people are coming out with these 5-day online challenges because we've learned that as people become more comfortable with technology, as people become more comfortable with interacting with others virtually, as people become more willing and able to know, like, and trust people who are virtual faces rather than people that they spend physical time with at an event, we have learned as an industry that we are still able to upsell somebody to a very high ticket offer between 20 and 100,000 on a virtual summit, right? And so we're really starting to see the proliferation of these online challenges, online summits, things like that that span between 3 and 6 days, and you just spend a lot of time with the people offering value at either a very low ticket cost or even for free sometimes, and then you hit them at the end with the big upsell. And we've learned that we're able to actually pull that off. And so that's the state of the market right now as I record in February 2023. That's the standard that everybody's moving to. If you're a coach, course creator, consultant, author, speaker, influencer, whatever, and you're not doing that, you're gonna do it within the next 6 to 12 months. I guarantee it. That's going to become the new market standard because the fixed costs of putting on an event virtually are so much less than the fixed cost of putting an event on physically in person. You don't have the venue rental, you don't have catering, you don't have all of these, the stage setup, these massive, 6 and 7 figure expenses. They're just irrelevant. And so that's the way that everybody's moving. So that brings me to the point of where do we go from here? If that's the state of the industry, the state of the union right now, where do we go? I believe in-person events will make a massive resurgence in the next decade. That's my prediction. And I think that for a couple of things. Number one is the fact that the human quality of business is being stripped away from us every single day. And we see that now more than ever with the introduction of tools such as ChatGPT and other AI tools. We see the humanization of business being really ripped away from us. And now with all the events being held virtually, we see that humanization of even the event space is being ripped away from us, and everything is done on a device, on a computer, on a tablet, on a phone. And I think that what's going to happen is the top of the top will funnel up to curated in-person experiences, because what's going to happen is as the costs both to put on an event as well as to attend an event is driven down by the fact that AI is able to do a lot of the work for us and that virtual systems are able to get us in the room cheaper and allow us to connect easier, what's going to happen is 95% of the marketplace is going to shift into doing that, because we want to do what is the path of least resistance. We want to do what gets us in front of the most people the easiest, the quickest. And what's going to happen is the vast majority of the market is going to go do that, and there's going to be 5% of really well qualified high ticket clients that are going to be not being served at the level that they want from these virtual events. And I think that people like Tony Robbins, I think that people like E.T., people that are doing these in-person conferences that are not just conferences, they're not sit and get information, we can do that on a computer, but that are experiences that provide opportunities to network with other high-end individuals, high-end clientele, that provide the opportunity to connect, that provide the opportunity for experiences. Jesse Itzler does a phenomenal job at this. He has people freaking run up and down a hill 100 times. You're pushing yourself physically. These type of experiential learning events I think there's an opportunity to make them extremely high ticket. And I think that all of the best, most qualified buyers are going to go to those events because they're going to get tired of the digitization of the human experience. And I think that it's going to funnel everybody. Like, again, the vast majority is going to be fine going virtual. The vast majority is going to be fine following this system. But I think that there's going to be this, again, funneling of the best, the people who just crave that experience, the people who are not comfortable, or not even comfortable, but who are not willing to accept that this is all that we get. I think that high-end, experience-focused, in-person events are going to be the way of the high-ticket future. And I think that you're going to be able to do so much more in that space. Now, it will be higher ticket, lower volume, but the people that you're going to be able to attract is going to be a different caliber than the ones who are willing to show up virtually. And this is nothing new. This is something that's been going on for a while now. I just think that with the proliferation of AI and with where our industry is trending with all of these online challenges, I think it's only a matter of time before people get sick of it. And I think it's only a matter of time before somebody figures out how to just massively stand out in the marketplace and almost create a completely brand new blue ocean for themselves and separate them from the competition by just being willing and having the freaking gentleman's balloons to do an event that is at massive scale, that provides massive value, that's in person. And the guys who are able to pack out a stadium, those are going to be the ones that are going to win moving forward because they're going to be able to sell stuff that nobody else can. That's my prediction. That I will see if it comes true or not, but that is my prediction on the state of the union over the next 5 or 10 years or so. I think people are just going to crave that in-person experience, and I think there's some things that just can't be replicated the way that things are going right now. And I think that just because it's easy doesn't always mean that it's the best way to do things. Now, here's what I will say. I think if you're in this industry and you're not Tony Robbins, you're not E.T., you're not Grant Cardone, you're not one of these big names who has the ability to spend money on a massive, crazy experience like that, I think in-person masterminds are going to be another really, really good opportunity. There's the amount of people that are going to be willing to pay 10 to 20,000 a year to be in a group of people who just go develop together and have crazy experiences is going to be massive. Like, that market is going to be underserved. You understand? Like, that is going to be an underserved market because people are going to crave that. If you are one of these guys that's like, listen, all I want to do is get really good at speaking on my particular niche and topic, and then I'm just going to get a group of 50 people and we're going to travel the world, and every other month we're going to go to a new destination and have a meeting, and we'll do some like hike or excursion or spiritual experience or like whatever it is that you want to do. That is a massive opportunity, I think, between 2023 and 2030. I think that's going to be really, really big. And then the other thing I think that people can do is start with the online events, start with the online challenges, summits, whatever, and then use that. Like, here's what I would do. Matter of fact, this might be what I'm going to do. Do your 5-day online challenge, upsell people to a high ticket mastermind that revolves around in-person experiential learning. The people who do not opt in for that now becomes your retargeting pool to get them into an in-person event, and the money that you made between the ticket sales to get them in the room, as well as part of the money that you made on the upsell there, that is what I would use to fund your in-person events. I think that because what's going to happen is only the people who are buyers from that pool are going to go to the event, and it will be so easy to sell them on a mid-ticket item, even if they didn't take the high ticket right there. And then what I would do is I would take my high ticket people from that mastermind, I would funnel them to the event too. And at that event, I would have 2 offers. I would have one offer that's mid ticket, and in my mind, I'm thinking I'm trying to sell this to the people who didn't take my high ticket upsell on the virtual summit. And then at that event, I would have a very, very high ticket offer, and in my mind, I would be saying, this is specifically what I'm trying to sell to the people who did take the high ticket upsell, and I got them back in the room now, and now I'm making such a huge impression on them that I don't want to just do 10, 12,000 a year for a mastermind. I want to do 100,000 for a consulting program and take equity and see if I can actually blow up your business. That's what I think is going to happen. That's how I would structure a business right now if I was in this industry, if I was in this space. And because I am in this industry and I am in this space, I think I might take my own advice for once and do exactly that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was valuable for you. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel massively. If this brought you value, share this with somebody. I'm not getting paid to do a consultation on this. Like, I'm just talking about the ideas that I have and how I think that might be able to help you if you are an online entrepreneur. And I want this to get into the hands of as many people as possible, because I think that if I can help as many of you get to where you want to go, man, whether it comes from y'all or it comes from up there, somebody gonna bless me in return. So I just really believe this is information that can help people, and that's why I do what I do. So if this helped you, please do me a huge favor, share this with somebody else. Let's keep the positive energy and the momentum of making an impact on other people going, and I will see you on the next episode of Money Mondays. Peace.